Okay, what we got here, we got some stress cracks that just happened to show up overnight for some odd reason. And I don't know what they're caused from, but it's in the gel coat of our, let me look right here, there you go. The gel coat of our 41 wheelies that we're getting ready to reprime. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of walk you through a step and procedure. Now, this is a different type of stress crack, okay? This is a stress crack that was caused from factory imperfections. Now, there's several ways you can fix that. We got it taped off, ready to prime, so we're gonna try to do it the easiest way possible. But mainly what you gotta do is you gotta get that stress crack, okay? You gotta get it where you can fill it, okay? And when I say fill it, I'm talking about using body filler, Bondo, Evercoat Metalworks, something to get the motherfucker where it'll be fixed. This is a little example of how to fix minor stress cracks in your fiberglass kit car that I want to get out of my shop, that I'm tired of fucking looking at. I can't sleep at night. Okay? I can't fucking concentrate on anything else. I got to get it done and get it out. Okay, did I just get mad at you? Did I just say something wrong to you? I'm sorry. Let's fix our stress crack, okay? Okay, so if you look right here, you can see there's a stress crack that goes round. And right behind the one I've been working on, there's another one. I don't know what those are from, but they're there. Now what I did here is I've already started on this one. I'm gonna show you what I did to get to that point. So what I've done, I've taken me a box cutter knife. Okay, now this is a dull box cutter knife. It's not a sharp one because I don't want to cut that. I just want to clean it out, see? And what I'm doing is I'm looking for the stress crack, and I see it starts here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it into it. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get down to the fiberglass. And I'm going past the stress crack on each end about 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch on each side. And then once I do that, see, I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to use it at an angle, see, just like this, see? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to gouge it out again. And what that's going to do, that's going to give us a V. Do you see what I'm saying? That's going to give us a valley to fill in where we'll be able to feather out. There we go. Where we'll be able to feather out our Bondo when we stick it in there. So I've already done that side, and it's very important to take your time and not get in a hurry on something like that. Okay? So there's 2, and actually there's 4 of these fuckers. There's a little one right here. And here's another one right here. Okay, then we're gonna gouge it out like this. And then what you got some nice clean surface. Okay, once you have your gaps that are cleaned out, you got your ridges on each side into a valley, okay? What we're gonna do is I got 3 mixtures here. I'm sorry, I got some Bondo, Evercoat polyester filler, and some hardener. Now, depending on the weather is going to depend on how much hardener you use. It's a little bit cool out today. Okay, summer's getting to an end. and I added a little bit more hardener than usual. Make sure you mix that up thoroughly. Okay, where there's no streaks. If you notice, I'm rolling it around, taking it, rolling it. Let me use my right hand. Okay, I'm taking it and I'm rolling it. See there? There we go. So then, we're going to get our Bondo. Now it's important how to use your Bondo spreader, and I've told you this several times. Okay, get it where it's in the middle if you look, and always hold your Bondo spreader at an angle. That way what you're doing is you're actually filling in. Okay, you see what I'm doing there? Okay, then I rub it. Now I'm going to curve it one more time. Okay, and then I'm going to go the opposite way. And what I'm doing, I'm using my light to look at it because I want it to be thicker on there than what I'm actually filling. That way when it shrinks down, it'll fill it in, see? I'm looking right here, I see a little bit of a, there we go. Now, I'm gonna let that dry. I'll come back. See right there. Okay. I'll come back and I'll sand that down. Let that dry. We'll come back and sand it and see what we got. All right, once our spot's dry now, once again, this is in the paint booth, okay? This car is in the paint booth, so we want to be careful and keep our dust contained. What I'm gonna do is I got me a nice hard block, okay? It's a nice hard rubber block, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to block that out. Now I got 80 grit underneath that. Now if we were outside the paint booth, I'd probably go ahead and I'd use my air file on that, but we're not doing that today. I just don't want the dust flying everywhere. I want to keep it all contained, and so I don't have a mess. Now, if you notice, you can see where the primer's coming off the edges. If I was to use a soft block on that, it would sand more around the edges than it would in the center. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm taking my block and I'm concentrating on the center of the dent, the center of the imperfection. Okay, I don't want to sand around the edges. If I was using a soft block, I would be sanding around the edges more, and it would actually create a dent in my fiberglass. And I don't want to do that. So I'm basically concentrating on the problem at hand. You see what I'm saying? And I also see, as I'm sanding it, I see that there's Bondo underneath the primer, okay? So that means that we've had there was problems here at one time before. Okay, once I have my gel coat cracks, I'm gonna go ahead and lightly, because see, I don't want to get that dust all over the paint booth area. So I'm just gonna lightly clean that up, just like you see right there. Now remember, I used 80 grit to break it all down. Now if you look right there, you can see that those are filled in and it's also feathered out. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take some raw Evercoat polyester filler or polyurethane filler with some hardener. I'm going to go ahead and mix that up. And once again, it depends on the weather of how much the weather outside that is. Depends on what the weather is, the temperature outside, by how much hardener you're going to use in your Bondo and your Evercoat. Always make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Okay. This will be our last coat that we put on it. And if you notice, I'm pushing I got a nice firm push on it. because all I'm trying to do is put a skim coat to fill in the imperfections that might be there after we prime it. Okay? And this spreader is about ready to go in the trash. When you start seeing streaks like that, that means it's time to hit the fucking road and get yourself a new one on the market. I'm gonna let that dry. I'll come back. I'll finish it off with 180 and it'll be ready for primer. Okay, once that's dry, I'm gonna come back with some 80 grit and some 180 grit. Now if you look real close, I'm using a soft pad on it, okay? Because this actually has a curve like that. We've already got rid of the bulk of the filler. Now what this is gonna do, this is actually gonna be the final filler that fills in all the pinholes and any imperfections that we might have, scratches and that. So I just take my 80 grit and I'm using my whole hand. I don't want to use my fingers like that if possible, due to the fact that this is a soft pad and it'll put more pressure wherever I'm using my fingers. So you try to use your palm of your hand. And all I'm doing with the 80 grit, I'm just gonna file it down, sand it down, just to get rid of the top layer and to feather it out. Okay, once I got that feathered out, I'm gonna come back with my 180 and I'm gonna go ahead. Now I'm gonna get even to a wider area, a wider pattern, and block it out. Just like so. And I'm gonna feather it all in to what I already have. So there you go. Stretch cracks are fixed. Ready for primer, ready for paint, and ready to be out of my shop. Okay, I'll go ahead and clean our mess up. I'll keep the dust down. I don't want dust all over in my paint booth. And it's ready to prime, get out of here, and hit the road. Yes, I did just repeat myself because that was a very important message. Get it out and dead down the road, see? Because that's the only way you make any money, all right? Dicking around, jerking off, and playing with it for fucking a year, you ain't making no money. I ain't making no money. This is Pete, I'll see you later. SWRNC.com, Southwest Rod and Custom. My friend, your friend, everybody's friend Pete. Always on top of things, getting her done.